Today's story is about a messenger. And if there is a messenger, then there needs to be a message. And there needs to be people who are going to receive the message. So we're going to watch a video that plays out this messenger story. So as we watch, it's only a minute and a half, so you got to pay attention. I want you to see if you can figure out who are the people who are receiving the message, what is the messenger like, and what is the response to the message. So who are the people who are receiving the message, what is the message, and what is the response to the message. So here we go. All right. So, did you catch what is the message? You say it out loud. What's the message? God still reigns. That's the message. And who are the people who were receiving the message? The people of Jerusalem, yes. And why did they need this message? Why did the people of Jerusalem need this message? Olivia, do you know? Yes, some people took over their kingdom. Yes. They were losing hope. You are so right. Thank you, Olivia. The people were sad and destitute because their lives had fallen apart, because their kingdom had been taken over by this other country. And God had told them there will be hope, but they had lost sight of that hope. The line that struck me from the video was beautiful feet, and then the picture of the feet, which were not very beautiful. But they were beautiful because they carried a very beautiful message. And the message was of peace, of good news, of salvation, that God still reigns. It's metaphors for the gospel. There is hope. Christ is king. Love wins. We can get through this. You can feel better. All will be well. The gospel takes many forms. And it's a message that we all live out in our daily lives. So what if you were that messenger? What if we are all the messengers in whatever we do in our daily activities? So let's read this poem from Isaiah, and we're going to read it together to make this a little bit more interactive. So the slides are going to be on the screen, and I invite you to read the yellow words together, and I will read the white words. So it switches between poetry. Poetry looks like this, and in its form on the page. And then you'll see in a little bit where it's just like a big chunk of words. So it switches from poetry to narrative and then back to poetry in order to tell this story about the people who need good news, about the messenger, and about the response to the good news. So see if you can catch those things in here, and then we're going to work with one of these verses with our backpacks and devices. All right, join me on the yellow words. Awake, awake, put on your strength, O Zion. Put on your beautiful garments, O Jerusalem, the holy city. For the uncircumcised and the unclean, which means kind of like the bad guys, shall enter you no more. Shake yourself from the dust. Rise up, O captive Jerusalem. Loose the bonds from your neck, O captive daughter Zion. For thus says the Lord, you were sold for nothing, and you shall be redeemed without money. For thus says the Lord God, long ago my people went down into Egypt to reside there as aliens. This is their backstory. The Assyrians, too, has oppressed them without cause. Now, therefore, what am I doing here, says the Lord? Seeing that my people are taken away without cause. Their rulers howl, says the Lord, and continually all day long my name is despised. Therefore, my people shall know my name. On that day they shall know that it is I who speak. It is I. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of the messenger, who announces peace, who brings good news, who announces salvation, who says to Zion, your God reigns. So as we celebrate our fresh starts today, whether you're about to start something, we didn't do the end. We should do the end. Listen, your sentinels lift up their voices. Together they shout for joy. For in plain sight they see the return of the Lord to Zion. Break forth, shout together for joy, you ruins of Jerusalem. For the Lord has comforted his people. He has redeemed Jerusalem. The Lord has bared his holy arm before the eyes of all the nations, and all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of our God. Okay, that's the end. I got so excited about what comes next. So as we celebrate fresh starts, whether you're actually starting something new or whether you just take this as an opportunity to celebrate something you've been doing for a long time, we are remembering today that we are God's messengers, that we are the ones who are on the proverbial mountains. We are the ones who are carrying the good news of God's peace in all the places where we go, to all the people that we encounter whose lives have fallen apart. So we're going to focus on that one verse. How beautiful are upon the mountains are the feet of those who bring good news. And we're going to take that little piece of Isaiah's poem, and we are going to personalize it for our own lives. Would you guys hand these out? There's pens on the floor scattered around. There's also pens up here. Just make sure you put them back if you need a pen. We are going to spend a little bit of time personalizing Isaiah's poem for our own lives. So it'll take a second to let everybody get one. And you'll see at the top of this, there's more over here. I forgot I put them in two piles. You'll see that this little worksheet starts out with Isaiah's poem, Isaiah 52, verse 7. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of the messengers who announce his peace, who brings good news, who announces salvation, who says to Zion, your God reigns. Does everybody have one? Does anybody still need a worksheet? Great, we're good. Okay. So before we dive into personalizing this for ourselves, let's read Isaiah's poem together. Let's just read it out loud all together to help us get it into ourselves. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of the messenger who announces peace, who brings good news, who announces salvation, who says to Zion, your God reigns. So, if we are the messengers, this messenger's feet ran upon the mountains. Where do your feet go? How beautiful upon the classroom. How beautiful upon the Feeding America volunteer room. How beautiful upon the bus. How beautiful upon the carpool. Where do your daily activities bring you? How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet. So all of our feet bring us places, but what is your tool? What is an object that helps you in your daily activities? It might be the object that you brought with you today if you brought a backpack or another device. What is your tool or object that helps you in your daily activities? It was the feet for the messengers. What is it for you? Of the messenger who announces peace, who? Okay, so I want you to listen for this part. Stop what you're thinking about. Just put a pin in it. And think with me, notice with me the last 3 lines of Isaiah's poem. Who brings good news, who announces salvation, who says to Zion, your God reigns. Those are 3 different ways of talking about this good news of peace and hope that the messenger brings. Because it's too big, it's too complex for just one phrase. And this is so helpful for us because the good news looks so many different ways in how it's lived out. It might be lived out in customer service, with customers being made, their experience being made whole with a product and restoring the relationship between the customer and the company. The good news might be helping someone get their legal affairs in order. Their good news might be helping someone make sure that their insurance works out. The good news might be helping make order out of chaos in an office space. The good news might be bringing art and beauty to a drab space. The good news takes so many forms, so be creative in how you think about how your daily activities spreads God's goodness and love. Home building is a huge way of spreading God's goodness, of making cozy, safe dwelling places, painting walls. All of these things are all ways that we live out the good news. So take a few minutes, and I actually encourage you to write things down because we're going to interact with each other's papers in a minute. So take a minute to figure out what you're going to write down, get creative,